Alright, what's going on, you guys? How are you doing today? Welcome to my first video on this channel. Um, I'm just going to be talking to you guys about e-cigarettes and where I started, how I started, what I started on and what I moved up to, and flavors and stuff, and then the flavors that I like. So, give me 1 second, please. Okay, so I started on those little Ego 1 starter kits. You know, the Ego batteries, tanks, comes with the USB charger and the little carrying case and a free bottle of juice. That's what I started on. That's what many people I know started on. Then I moved from that. That was enough, so I moved from that to the Aspire sub-ohm battery and the Atlantis tank by Aspire as well. Didn't want that anymore. Got a Dopo and a Kanger sub-tank. Didn't want the sub-tank anymore. Sold that. Got a Dripper, the Infinite CLT version 2. Then I sold my Dopo and my Infinite to one of my buddies. Picked up a Sigelli 150 watt Dark Horse. I have a Doge version 2. I have a Turbo RDA. I have an array of juices. I mean, there's like, I don't know, maybe about 4 times this much in this drawer right here. I just got like, I don't know, bottles of juice. I got a lot of juice for days. But, so that's what I started on, that's what I moved up for. And as far as, you know, flavors go and stuff like that, there's different companies out there, like Dark City Vapors or Twisted E-Juice, there's Cutwood, there's Vaptasia, Suicide Bunny, Ruthless. There's all sorts of companies out there that sell e-juice, and what you need to do is you pretty much need to try them all and you know, pick one that you like. I recommend before you order anything online, any juice online for that matter, at least, is go to your local shop, try some of the juices, test, ask them to test some of the juices that they have. You know, stick with 3 or 4 at a time, narrow it down to 3 that you like and pick from those 3, or pick all 3 if you want to pick them all up. That's the way I do it. That's the way I find works best for me whenever I walk into a new shop and I see juices I haven't heard of or tried before. And so, you know, you can order things online, but for me personally, I don't order any flavors online unless I know people that have had those flavors and told me that they are good or they are bad or that they prefer it, because usually the people that tell me that, we have a lot of stuff in common. You know, with friends, you have a lot of stuff in common with your friends if they're your friends. So, you know, I only order juice online if they have ordered it and liked it. Juice-wise, you know, the makeup of juices. There's vegetable glycerin, polyplain glycol, flavors, and then you can get 0 nic in your juices, or you can get nicotine. So that's an ingredient that's labeled on all the bottles. You know, but it's not always there. You can get 0 nic, or you can get 3 nic. You can get 6. You can get 12. You can get 18. You can get 24. You can get all sorts of levels. But it's the juice itself. The ingredients on the juice itself is polyplain glycol, vegetable glycerin, nicotine, natural and artificial flavors, and that's it to the juices. Now, there were some speculations floating around about Suicide Bunny having some form of chemical in there that you don't necessarily want in your body, kind of like that rumor about all e-juices. But they released a statement and a video about testing about that speculation that there is no you know, chemical that you shouldn't be taking in your body in their juice lines. And they said that they had people test it, and they released a statement saying that is not true, that is false. So as far as I know to this date, it's probably I believe it was last year, but for those of you that didn't know about it, that happened, but it was all speculation. It's not true. So yeah, but as far as e-liquid goes wise, there's a PG and VG blend. Vegetable glycerin is the thicker substance. Polyplain glycol is the thinner substance. You can, you know, if you want to make your own juice, you can do that too. You can't order nicotine by itself, that's illegal, it's a poison. But you can get it mixed base with PG or VG, and you can make your own juice that way. Or if you're buying juices and they mix them and they ask you what mix you want, let's say it's 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, 50-50 even, doesn't matter. You can ask them what to base the flavor in, PG or VG, and then you go from there. And that's what it is. But the thicker the PG of the juice, the thicker and the denser your vapor production will be. Like, for example, these are 80-20 blends. All these bottles that I have right here are 80-20 blends. Or something like a 50-50, that would be a much thinner vapor production versus that thicker vapor production. It all depends on what you want. There's cloud chasing atomizers, there's flavor atomizers, there's all sorts of atomizers and mods and stuff, that batteries you can choose from, tanks, all this kind of stuff. It's just, the e-cigarette community is being innovated so quickly, rapidly. It's like every single week there's something new coming out. In the last month or so, they came out with like 4 new sub-ohm tanks to compete against the market with the King or sub tank in the Atlantis. You got the Magennis, you got the Arctic, you've got the Heracles, and you've just got new stuff coming out like all the time. So it could be a little bit pricey depending on what you're doing with it. If it's just to quit cigarettes, there's starter kits, or there's simpler team cheap mod, as Twisted says it, stuff like that, like the Aspire sub-ohm battery and the Atlantis kit setup. It's like $60, I believe so. Or there's more expensive stuff like the Sigelli 150 go out, which is $135. At least that's what my shop sells it for. There's competition atomizers for cloud comps that run $80, from anywhere from $80 to $120. There's some atomizers that are authentic and cheap, such as the Doge V1 and V2, such as the Infinite V1, V2, and V3. They're in the $40 range. There's just all sorts of things, all sorts of prices, all sorts of things you can choose from. Tanks are nice for going around, and because you don't constantly have to take your top cap off and re-drip your coils and your wicks and stuff like that. But drippers are nice if you want to get into cloud comps, or you just want bigger clouds. Say it's you have a hobby, it's a hobby. Like for me, this is a really big hobby. It's what a good some of my money goes into, because it's a hobby. I enjoy blowing the clouds, but I do enjoy the flavor. Atomizers right now on the market, as far as flavor and best for clouds go, flavor is the Freak Show Mini, and Derringer. Clouds is the Dark Horse, the Doge V1 and V2, and the what was it? Can't remember the other one. I apologize, but in my opinion, those are the best on the market. But the Dark Horse is good for flavor and clouds both. But the only thing about that is it barely, by the skin of your teeth, has a juice well. If it's even considered a juice well, I'm not sure, but it has one possibly. Possibly. It exists, maybe, is what I'm saying. But there's just, an array of things you can choose from. There's just so much speculation and drama and rumors being tossed around all over the place about e-cigarettes lately. It's just crazy. It's a new forming industry. It's not very new. It's been going on for years, but in the past couple, it's been picking up more and more and getting more innovative and better technology and all this other kinds of stuff. Because back in the day, they used to be selling DNA 40s for $200. Now you can pick up an 150 watt device for $135 or $100, or you can pick up a 50 watt device for $40. It's just been innovating so fast and so quickly, and which is a good thing. I'm not complaining about that, but the only thing is, all the speculation and rumors and stuff, that's a downfall. But yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that somewhat boring talk about video, I guess. It might not be boring for some people. It might be boring for others. So I will see you guys in my next video, whenever that may be. Probably tomorrow. I'm gonna be probably, hopefully, setting a schedule up. I mean, I don't have a fancy camera or anything, or editing software. I'm doing this off my phone. So, well, as of right now, unless this becomes a thing for me, but as of now, it's a thing to pass time.